thepascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? Listen, guys, we are back at it in the conversation about Bryan Kohberger. Like I said before, there was going to be a conversation and another video coming out here, and here it is. Bryan Kohberger and his team are now arguing something that's very interesting. Not only are they talking about the three unnamed DNA samples that were found under one of the victim's nails, and of course, I think they said that there was DNA throughout the house, outside and inside the house as well. But now they're saying that Bryan Kohberger should not seek or see the full ultimate price, see the DP, because he's autistic. So just so you know, I did not know that he was on the spectrum. Okay, I knew that he was socially awkward and all that as well. Maybe a little bit more introverted and all that, but I didn't know that that he was on the spectrum. So now this is a new one, but I'm going to ask you guys this now, and I'm going to bookend it with the same question. Do you really think that this is a good argument? If he did this, he should pay the full ultimate price. It does not matter, in my personal opinion, if you're on the spectrum or not. Evil is still evil. Taking someone's life is still taking someone's life. In fact, 4 people's lives. And if he did this, and if he is found guilty by a jury of his peers, and that DP is on the table, I'm sorry, crime does not care whether or not, or justice, I'm sorry, does not care whether or not you are on the spectrum, with all due respect. So again, this is very interesting, but let's take a look at this article here. So Bryan Kohberger's attorney is arguing her client's autism diagnosis should prevent a DP sentence in the event he is found guilty of taking the life of 4 college students from the University of Idaho, right? Stating capital punishment would constitute cruel and unusual punishment. Well, let me just say this. This guy is alleged of doing some cruel and unusual things to 4 college students. So again, you can miss me with the nonsense, right? So due to his inability to fully understand the consequences. So you're telling me he's not a competent individual? Wasn't he going and getting his master's or getting a very high degree in criminology and that sort? So clearly he's intelligent enough to know that crime is bad, right? And that justice will come for you when you do something bad, right? If he was going and getting his master's, he was a graduate. He clearly understands and fully comprehends and is cognitive of wrongdoing. If you're studying that, you can't tell me that he's incompetent. That doesn't make any sense, that he doesn't fully understand the consequences, yet he was studying criminology. Just come on now. Come on now. Okay. So his attorney, Ann Taylor, filed a motion last week stating if her client were to be found guilty and sentenced to his final resting, paying the ultimate price, all right, that would violate his 8th Amendment constitutional rights. Kohberger, of course, is being accused of unaliving 4 University of Idaho students in the middle of the night in 2022, okay, was formally diagnosed as a neuropsychologist, okay, last month. This was last month. And again, he's cognitive enough to allegedly go in and put his hands on people. He's cognitive enough to graduate college, graduate high school, then graduate college, then go to graduate school. Let's not forget that, guys. So, okay. So, neuropsychologist evaluated Kohberger and found he, quote unquote, continues to exhibit all the core diagnostic features of ASD currently, with significant impact on his daily life. So now he's in, okay. And I wonder how on the spectrum he really is. If you're saying that it's taking a significant impact on his daily life, I mean, could he, I know this sounds sinister as all get out, but could he just fake it? Could he literally just act like Could he just act like he's autistic? I know that sounds insane, but really? Just, kind of amp it up a little bit to give this neuropsychologist the run for their money? Maybe. Maybe. I'm just asking the questions, okay? I'm not a neuropsychologist, all right? I just give you guys the news. But moving on. Tuesday evening, a judge ordered the motion to be sealed, likely due to medical records privacy, and we'll have to wait to see what the judge interprets, how the judge interprets the defense motion once the trial begins. Prosecutors allege he snuck into a now demolished, which is trash to me still. Don't know why they demolished that house. I know out of sight, out of mind for the college and all the college students and all that, but that was still a very, very hot crime scene. I don't think that they were fully done yet, in my personal opinion. But anyway, this is a now demolished off-campus home where these 4 victims, Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez, all lost their lives, right? But left his DNA behind on a hunting knife sheath, okay? Which we've been talking about, touch DNA like crazy, okay? He's charged with 4 counts of first-degree M and 1 felony count of burglary and is set to go on trial this very summer. And if this is televised, or if this is not televised, if this is on camera, that sounded so old school like OJ, okay? But if it is televised or on camera, I'm sorry, we will be looking at this for sure. It's going to be an interesting summer, guys, because we got Diddy and we got Kohberger, allegedly. Kohberger is going to happen, but Diddy's might be pushed. I have a feeling it might be pushed. But anyway, he was arrested in in Pennsylvania, okay, in late 2022. All right, after driving cross country from his home in Washington State. All right. And of course, we are still waiting to hear what the judge says. And apparently he's going to say something about this later on. All right. Probably when they walk in and actually go full force in this trial. Now, there are some things that have gone on. Let's be real. There have been some things. The DNA does pose a lot of questions. Definitely. It does pull up reasonable doubt. But for me, it's reasonable doubt that he is not the only one. That he could very well have worked with other people. That this was a planned attack by a group of people, or 2 or 3 other people, right? Large sum of people, or it might have just been himself. That's still very possible as well. The other DNA, the DNA that was found underneath Madison Mogan's nails, they're saying that it could have been DNA from her friends. It could have. And then some of it could have been Bryan Kohberger. God only knows, right? But of course, I leave that up for more information and more discussion later on when we get into the trial. But it does make you wonder, did he operate alone? But then you look at something like this. And her sitting there going, well, no, he's on the spectrum, so don't take him out. No, he's on the spectrum. Again, for me, it doesn't work because it's still a person being alleged of doing something so egregious, so deplorable, so gruesome that if he is found guilty and the judge does make that decision that, yes, he's getting the DP, then he's getting the DP. It doesn't matter if he has some sort of mental health issue or if he is on the spectrum. It doesn't matter. The crime was still done by this particular person. And then also, like I said earlier, you can miss me with the nonsense of someone saying, he distributes all the signs of somebody who's not fully comprehending what's going on around him. Could that show that he's a sociopath? Does it have to be autistic? Could that just show that he has some sinister tendencies inside of him? If he's not fully understanding what he is seeing the inside of a courtroom for? Could he literally think in his mind that he did no wrong? That he's not just innocent, that what he did was righteous, that was good? That's a different That's a different diagnosis. That's more than just autism. So again, and then of course, let's not forget this too, and I just said it earlier, but I'm going to repeat it one more time. He was in graduate school for criminology. So how could he not compute what's really going on when he's been able to live on his own? He was living in his own place. He was going to and from school and doing all his stuff, doing his normal routine, running and doing his stuff, and allegedly going out into the woods in the middle of the night just to see the moon and the stars. You know what I'm saying? So again, miss me with the nonsense of him not being able to fully comprehend what's going on, his inability to fully understand the consequences. That sounds like he could very well be a sociopath, because that's what sociopaths do. That's what also SK or serial monsters do too. They don't fully comprehend the consequences of their actions, or they don't fully comprehend what they've done. They think that what they did was right, and they get off on it. So again, I'm going to bookend the question, what I said earlier, with the question I asked earlier. Do you really think that he should be seeing the DP because he's on the spectrum? Allegedly? I mean, really? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below and crush that subscribe button. If there's more craziness that comes out revolving around this Idaho 4 situation, we gonna talk about it. So get ready. We'll talk soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye. Really, though?
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.